Okay, next we have sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary is taken from the Latin word sedimentum, which means settling, or it's referring to a solid material setting out of a fluid. Sedimentary rocks accounts for only about 5% in volume of the Earth's outer 16 kilometers. So we have here the different types of sedimentary rocks. Or again, going back to the definition, from this alone, we can see there that sedimentary rocks results from the compacting of the different sediments. Or if you have different sediments being compacted into a rock, or if that's because of intense pressure, then that rock that was formed is a sedimentary rock. Okay, we go to the different types of sedimentary rocks. First, we have clastic sedimentary rocks. When we say clastic, this is made out of grains, matrix, and cement that are compacted together. So when we say grains, these are now greater than sand-sized minerals and or rock fragments. Matrix, these are very fine-grained or clay to silt sized materials. And then cement, these are minerals precipitated from the solution that binds the grains and matrix together. So we can see here an illustration na. So we have here grains, and so that these are the larger particles or larger sediments that are embedded into our sedimentary rock. While for matrix, these are the smaller sediments, may that be sand size to silt size sediments. And then we have cement. This is now responsible in binding this together, right? So when we say clastic sedimentary rocks, this can be composed of different sediment sizes. Okay. Now, the naming of sedimentary rocks will also depend now on this sediment name and then basically coming from the sediment group. So first we have here clay. Clay has sediments that are ranging from this size now, it's less than 0.032 millimeters. So if most of the sediment sizes that are embedded in the rock are these sizes, then basically the sediment name for that is clay. So for the rock name, that can be named as mudstone, claystone, or shale. Okay. Then we have silt. These are slightly larger compared to clay. So we have there 0.032 millimeters to 0.063 millimeters. That can be, when that is compacted, that can be called as siltstone. Okay. Then we have there sand. Sand now ranges from 0.063 up until 1 or 2 millimeters. Then basically for this group, no, those are all called sandstone, right? Then if it's now greater than 2 in size, 2 to more than 256, I mean the sediments ranges from 2 millimeters to more than 256 millimeters, those are called as conglomerate. Okay, these are the main rock groups under sedimentary rocks. We have their mudstone, siltstone, sandstone, and then conglomerate. Examples, we have their breccia or breccia. And so this is an example now. Sorry, going back here, it could be either, if the size is from 2 to 256, it could be either conglomerate or breccia or breccia. And so if it's composed of rounded clasts, then that is a conglomerate. And then if it's breccia, if it's more of an angular clast. And so take note, a conglomerate meaning you're speaking it on a more rounded mouth. So that means yan, parang way of recalling, no? So we have their rounded clasts. And so here we have a breccia. And so the sediments here involved right here are angular. And so we can see angles, or those are very geometric, no? So we can say that that is breccia. It's more than 2 millimeters. The sediment size are more than 2 millimeters. So this is a sedimentary rock, specifically a breccia or breccia. And then this now is an example of a conglomerate because it's more rounded. The sediments are more rounded, and then these are also greater than 2 millimeters or 2 centimeters. So these are examples of, or this is an example of a conglomerate. Okay. Another example of a sedimentary rock, we have their coal bed. And so this is, I mean, that is compacted. Okay, so that this outcrop right here is an example of a sedimentary rock. We have there another example of a classic sedimentary rock. We have chalk. And so for chalk, it's composed of very small sediments. That's why we don't see exactly the sediments that are embedded. Okay, so there, chalk, or it's compacted sand or silt. Okay, moving on, we have non-classic sedimentary rocks, and so these are formed from evaporation and precipitation from solution or lithification of organic matter, classified as evaporites like halite, gypsum, or dolostone, or precipitates like limestone, or bioclastic like coal or coquinia. Okay, we have here coquinia. So again, going back to the definition, it when we say non-clastic, it's formed from evaporation and precipitation from solution, right? Or that is also formed from lithification of organic matter. In this example, we have coquinia. You can see actually there's very small seashells, no? And then we have, of course, there are other sediments that are compacted together. That is classified as a sedimentary rock still. Okay, non-clastic sedimentary rock. Okay, we have their coquinia. Or other examples of non-clastic sedimentary rocks, let's look into this first. We have cave deposits. Okay, cave deposits, these are now formed from accumulation of minerals or particles on the ceiling of the cave or on the ground of the cave. So, of course, you're well aware of these terms. We have stalactites and stalagmites. So, stalactite, C, that means these are formed on the ceiling of the cave. And then we have stalagmite or G. These are formed at the ground level of the cave. Now, for stalactites and stalagmites, it takes thousands of years for them to be able to be formed. Right? So there, these are examples still of sedimentary rock. Another example, we have their petrified wood. Okay, so from organic matter, from wood, probably from millions of years ago, then it was subjected into an intense pressure combined to sediments coming from soil. Then it became now a rock, which is considered as a sedimentary rock. Then we have here a coprolite. So if you are going to search your dictionary right now, when you define coprolite, it's basically defined as petrified organic waste or petrified feces of animals thousands of years ago. So probably this is a waste coming from an animal, or for example, it might be a horse or something. So after defecating, and so this object now got petrified or got lithified. It combined, it combined with it combined with sediments from the surroundings, and then eventually it became a rock, which we call as coprolite. It's actually there are discovered discovered sedimentary rocks or coprolite coming from dinosaur feces. Okay, and so when these are joined together, or when these get accumulated and then it get covered with soil, then after thousands of years it solidified into a rock. We classify those as sedimentary rock. Okay, it's sedimentary rock but under a non-clastic sedimentary rock.